What's going on, everyone? Thammagotcha here, and in today's battles, we're going to be checking out the triple theme community day team of Venusar, Empoleon, and Walrein. Hopping into the first match here, we got Venusar and Talonflame. Each fast move is doing super effective damage to each other, but if I land this Frenzy Plant, that's going to do big damage. Nice, now I can just shield here and farm all the way down. I'm assuming they didn't shield here because they have either another answer to Venusar in the back, or they're pretty weak to Venusar. So, there it is. I swap out, they bring in Giratina, and I swap out my Empoleon, and they bring in a Swampert. Now, Swampert versus Empoleon, it all depends if they land the Earthquake. I'm gonna no shield this, and it's just a Hydro Cannon. I'm gonna let this one go too, because I want to save my shields for Walrein in the back, because they have a Giratina. Now we're gonna be able to bring in Walrein and farm all the way down. They bring in their Giratina and they concede the match. GG's, buddy. GG's. Hopping into the next match here, we got Venusar and Togekiss. Now this is a pretty good matchup, but they end up swapping out to Giratina again. Another Giratina. So I swap into my Walrein. Walrein's doing a lot of super effective damage with the Ice School Spears here. They no shield that. I'm gonna let this go too. It's just a Dragon Claw, which does not barely anything to the tankiness of Walrein. One more Ice School Spear, and now I'm able to farm all the way down. If they bring in their Togekiss, well, I'm going to be getting some super effective damage off too. We're going to be getting this Ice School Spear off. Nice, grab a shield. Now we can get to a second one. Yes, we can. Now this is going to do a lot of damage, or they're going to shield this. Now they're down both shields. Now I bring in my Venusar because I want to throw off this Sludge Bomb. They try to catch, but they can't. They bring in an Alolan Muck, and I swap into my Empoleon. Now with both shields up, this is a huge advantage for Empoleon because Hydro Cannon is going to be doing a lot of damage here. That lands, and now we can just waterfall all the way down. Shield once here, have a Hydro Cannon ready to throw out that Togekiss, and the opponent concedes the match. GG's, buddy. GG. Hopping into the next match here. Charizard into Venusar. I swap right away into the Walrein here. But they're just running Dragon Breath. So that wouldn't have been a terrible match, but still. Don't want to get hit by a Blast Burn. I'm going to shield this first one up here. Just in case it's the Blast Burn, but they bait me with the Dragon Claw. That's okay. They ended up shielding. I get a shield back there. And you know what? If it's the Blast Burn, I'm thinking I'm not going to shield this anyways. I can just come in with my Empoleon and get some nice damage for whatever comes in next. And it turns out to be another Swampert. So with an energy advantage, actually Empoleon is pretty good against that Swampert. And then they bring out the Giratina Altered. I'm like, okay, this could be a little troublesome. But Venusar, even though it's not doing very effective damage, can get off these Frenzy Plants pretty decently. And they do pretty good damage here. And he's pretty bulky that I can take one more Dragon Claw and I might be able to get to a third one, which I am. Now if this grabs the shield, I'm in a great position here to sweep endgame with Empoleon with a shield advantage. I'm going to let the first one go through. It's a Shadow Sneak. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but I'm gonna let the second one go through because I'm worried that this Swampert has energy in the back. So I get off that Drill Peck, we get off that waterfall damage, we sneak, which is nice, block that, and then we get to another one. We take that game as well. GG's, good fella. GG's. Hopping into the next match here. We got Venusar into Giratina, another Giratina. So I'm going to build up a little energy and then swap out into my Empoleon. They counter swap into a Cresselia, which really isn't the best answer because Grass Knots is only doing neutral damage and Psycho Cuts are not very effective at all. And with these waterfall damages and the Hydro Cannons, we could take this matchup. I might have to go a shield down to get switch advantage, but if that's... I think I'm going to do that. Because I want to get my Walrein onto that Giratina. And if I get my Walrein onto that Giratina, then Venusar should be able to handle whatever's in the back as well. So I'm gonna get this Drill Peck off here. This is an alright amount of damage. I'm gonna let this go through. It's just a Dragon Claw, which is not very effective. So with that, I might be, yes. We get to another Drill Peck. This is gonna put them in yellow. This is gonna be a nice, either huge farm down range for Walrein, or I can build up a lot of energy and throw one, because Walrein's so tanky that he can take at least 2 to 3 Dragon Claws. But they have Ancient Power. And I'm like, okay, alright, fine. Let's just get this thing out of here. So now I throw the Icicle Spear, and then they decide to shield. I'm like, okay, well, I'll shield this up if you're going to shield yours. And then they have their own Walrein. And thanks to me loading up a little bit of energy, I'm able to get to back-to-back Frenzy Plants here before they can get the 2 Icicle Spears, because one is not going to KO me. And this, is this going to one-shot a Walrein? Yeah, get out of here. See you later, buddy. And they concede the match after that. GG's, buddy. GG's. I went 5-0 with that set. The first 2 battles there, my recording went a little wonky, so I'm sorry about that. Hopping into the next match here, we got Talonflame and a Venusaur, and I misclicked so fast I brought in my Empoleon. I should have brought in my Walrein, but they're not swapping out. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna double shield here. If you're not swapping out, then either you have something really weak to Empoleon in the back, or you're just not playing right. And then they bring in a Sylveon, and I'm thinking, okay, then that's not very good for you either, because these charms are not doing very effective either. So I'm able to get off 2 Hydro Cannons and get all those shields back. And then I bring in my Venusaur. This Psyshock is going to do super effective damage, but again, Venusaur is pretty freaking bulky. And then they bring in a Alolan Ninetales to a loaded Venusaur. Boo! What's up, buddy? How's it going? Sludge Bomb to your face. And we'll take that. We'll bring in the Walrein here. This is looking like a good matchup. And they concede the match again. GG's, buddy. GG's. Hopping into the next match here, we got another Giratina lead. So I'm going to swap out into my Empoleon right away this time. And then they bring out a freaking Melmetal. I'm like, oh, you are so bad for my 2 backline Pokemon. All 3 of my Pokemon, you're so bad. But they decide not to shield the Hydro Cannon. And I'm like, okay, nice. We could take you out here, shield the first superpower, not shield the second. And then we're going to farm you all the way down to have some loaded energy for that Giratina that comes back in. And I opt to throw the Hydro Cannon here, blind throwing, which is not the move you want to throw. Although Drill Peck and Hydro Cannon might do the same amount of damage, but Drill Peck is not very... Drill Peck is neutral damage, whereas Hydro Cannon is not very effective. So I bring in my Walrein, and then they swap out into a Talonflame. And I'm like, oh, this game is so over. They shield this Sludge Bomb, yep. I don't even know why I'm still playing, because now they get to they have so much loaded energy here that they got to back-to-back flame charges. No matter what I do here, this game is over. So I should have top lefted a lot earlier, but I end up top lefting right about now. And there goes my, I think that's 6-game win streak. Hopping into the next match here, we got Venusaur into Umbreon. Pretty neutral matchup. Frenzy Plants are going to be hitting for a lot of damage, because I can tell, as you can tell, this Umbreon here, it's not, I don't think it's 100% IV Umbreon. So foul plays don't do very much, but these Frenzy Plants are going to absolutely chunk this little Umbreon. They're going to outpace me, but I'm going to be able to survive. So I do believe I shield this one. I want to maintain my alignment for whatever's in the back. But then they throw a shield back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm going to let my Venusaur go down, because they're going to expend all the energy. Farm down for energy for whatever you have in the back. I'm going to bring in my Empoleon here. Get 2 waterfalls off. And then they bring in a Swampert. I'm like, okay. I have an energy advantage. We have the same shields. I'm going to try to catch a move here on my Walrein, but good timing on my opponent to throw it during the waterfall, and they bait me with the Hydro Cannon. I'm like, damn. And then they bring in a Shadow Granbull. Shadow Granbull is a really nice pick, but you have shields down. You really need shields for your Shadow Granbull because he is so weak. We Earthquake him, get him out of here with a couple Powder Snows, and we have an Icicle Spear ready to throw at that Swampert, and down he goes with one more Powder Snow. GG's, buddy. GG's. Hopping into the next match here, we got Venusaur into Umbreon again. Back-to-back Umbreon leads. Very weird. So we're going to play this exactly how we played the last one. If I have to expend a shield here, I'll expend a shield here. Foul play coming through, I shield this one. As well, why not? If I'm going to shield, I'm going to shield the... And then they get to another move really fast. So these foul plays, they don't do very much, but you know, they add up. But these Frenzy Plants, look at that, nice damage. Umbreon is just so bulky. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even close to even... I don't even have a 15 Eevee. So, and then they bring in a freaking Talonflame, and I'm like, oh, well, at least I got my Empoleon. But this Talonflame's got shield advantage and loaded energy. I'm going to no-shield this because it's just a Flame Charge. And I'm going to get off. They sneak and Incinerate through, which is really, really not good. I'm going to get the shield back. I'm going to shield this. And I'm going to hopefully do as much damage as I can with these waterfalls. And yes! We're able to knock it out. And then it's an Aromatisse in the back. What a spicy pick. I'm going to bait here with the Icicle Spear. Hoping I get the shield. Great success! Now we're able to throw this Earthquake off to do some big damage. That gets him nice in the red. And remember, I do believe we have a Hydro Cannon loaded on that Empoleon. And yes, we do. And this should be well enough to take out this... Oh, I forget your name. I just said it. Whatever. GG's, good buddy. GG's. Hopping into the next match here, we got Venusaur into Talonflame. Now I'm going to click correctly here when we swap out into our Walrein, and they bring in an Empoleon. I didn't even build up the Earthquake here, but I'm going to bait, and they shield. Awesome. That is freaking amazing. Hydro Cannon, Drill Peck, whatever. Walrein is such a tank that he can take it. And I'm going to be able to get off this Earthquake here, hoping for this no shield. Oh, almost one-shots the Empoleon. I'm going to no-shield this either and farm him all the way down so I have loaded energy. And I don't want to give that Talonflame any more farm for my Empoleon. So we have 2 Icicle Spears loaded, ready to throw at this Talonflame. They get an Incinerate through, which is, you know, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. And now that Talonflame is nice in the yellow, that I can just farm him all the way down with Empoleon. We shield this up, don't want to get hit by a Braybird. And they bring in a freaking Gallade. And I'm like, oh no. This is not good. The Confusion is doing super effective against Venusaur. And then I no shield and they close combat me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's shield this up, farm him all the way down, and have almost 2 loaded Sludge Bombs ready to go for that low health Talonflame. See you later, Talonflame. You just got taken out by Venusaur. Venusaur, counter for Talonflame confirmed. Hopping into the next match here, we got Venusaur into Registeel. Such a bad Pokemon for my whole team. But we're going to show you guys how to play through this. It's got to be a big team effort here. And then I swap out into my Walrein, and they swap out into their Cresselia. So my thinking here is, alright, let's get off as much Icicle Spear damage as I can to stall out this clock. I want to shield this because I want to preserve some health onto my Walrein, because if I can get an Earthquake off, that'd be huge. So I swap out back into my Venusaur, and they don't swap out. I throw my energy, which almost kills them, which is great. They throw off their Moonblast, not very effective, and then the Registeel comes back in. This is going to be really tough. Those Frenzy Plants just tickle the Registeel. I gotta no-shield this, because I don't have any shields left. We're able to get to a second Frenzy Plant, which is absolutely amazing. And I make a quick swap here, and I bait with the Icicle Spear, hoping to get the shield. Amazing, yes. I'm going to build back up. Throw my second bait here. Booyah, baby. We got both. Both shields. Incredible. Incredible. Now they expended all the energy. So I'm going to bring in my Empoleon here. Try to get to a Hydro Cannon. But then they swap out. And I'm like, okay, now they're going to let me farm you all the way down. Oh, you must have misclicked. They must have misclicked. Because then they bring in a Swampert to a loaded Empoleon. And these Hydro Cannons. And I catch a move. Is this the Earthquake? Oh, yes, we catch the Earthquake. And I'm just going to be able to farm all the way down with Empoleon. Have 2 Hydro Cannons loaded for this Registeel. There goes one. I don't even need to. Get out of here, Steelio. GG's, buddy. GG's. Hopping into the next match here, we have Venusar into Articuno. Another disastrous lead. And I swap out into my Walrein. I get this Icicle Spear off before they get any ice to win, which is awesome because then my attack isn't debuffed and I can get as much damage as I can off on this thing. And it's running Ancient Power. I'm like, another one with Ancient Power? Like, even though it does super effective damage, like Walrein is so tanky that it took that like a champ. Then they bring in Cresselia. And I'm thinking, okay, I gotta get a couple Icicle Spears off and switch out as fast as I can into my Venusaur. I was thinking of hoping catching a move there, but I totally failed. So now we bring back in the Venusaur here. I am able to get my Frenzy Plant off, which does big damage. And then I'm able to get to a Sludge Bomb here before they're able to take me out. Which, okay, now we got a shield back. We got a shield from them, that's great. That doesn't even KO, but that sucks because then they can farm me down. So then I bring in my Walrein here. Get off this Icicle Spear. Nice. I'm so happy. And then I tried to catch an Ancient Power, but it ends up being an Icy Wind. And I'm like, ooh, that's not good. Now my attack is debuffed. And then they have a Swampert in the back. But I have energy advantage here and shield advantage. This first Hydro Cannon goes through and it doesn't do as much damage as I was hoping. I'm going to shield here. I'm expecting the Hydro Cannon, but I didn't want to risk it. And then they bring in the Cresselia. I'm like, okay, this is okay. This is okay. I'm going to bank a bunch of energy. I have energy on my Walrein. I throw the Icicle Spear. That takes him out. And I get to another Icicle Spear. Walrein is so spammy. And it takes out the Swampert too. GG's, good fella. GG's. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the match. I went 9-1 with this team. Well, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.